I thought Klopp was great as well last night, and it's funny because it's last night, but it's actually on Friday morning.
Yeah.
And so they do, the press conference, and there's a bit of embargo bit, but it's all filmed. And generally speaking, now when the embargo stuff comes out, the videos are being released as well. And we put a clip up last night on our social that I watched last night, and I was like, yeah, what? Get me to Anfield now. Maybe that's why I didn't go to bed. It wasn't the NFL. It was just Klopp had me all pumped up. But it was great to see the hunger in him, because one of the things that has worried me, and I've been a bit worried about him recently, especially after the game against Wolves, where there was some stuff with James Pearson. It just doesn't sort of seem right, really. And listen, you look too much into this, and maybe I have, because he says in that, like, I lose and I always will, and that drives all these people. But he was asked, like, basically, there's been rumours about you maybe quitting, what do you think about that? And he was like, I've got to fight for it, I want to go. And he said, like, people compare it to Dortmund and Mainz, but Mainz, everyone forgets, he actually got a better job. That's why he left. Do you know what I mean? This, like, 7-year ending thing, he got offered the job at Dortmund, so went to go for that. Dortmund, he said he was knackered, he said he was done in, and he said, like, I'm not feeling it. Neither of those things are right now. And he just seemed to have a huge amount of appetite for the next bit, which is building this next team. And it just got me going again. I was all in.
Yeah, it's good to see him have that, because I've long had this sort of not weird thing on managers, probably got basis, but there's not many managers who have more than 15 years at the top. When you actually go back through history and look, you take Alex Ferguson out, and it's not many more than that, really isn't. And Ferguson did a lot in terms of changing his assistant managers and keeping things fresh. He was also fortunate in the had a core of players that were there for 10, 15 years who were just excellent. That is obviously going to help you when you can bring through 5, 6 players at the same time. But outside of that, there's not many of them. Like, if you go back 15 years and look at who the best managers in the world were, not many of them are knocking around. Like, Klopp was just about to turn into Jürgen Klopp 15 years ago and start his cycle. Whereas now, not many things, but he does have this.
Yeah, it's like Rafa, Mourinho.
Yeah, exactly.
If one of them got a top job now, you'd be like, fucking hell.
So there's Ancelotti as well. I'll give him. He's been there 20, so he counts. But you go back and London appointed Capello, and it turns out that Capello had basically just not moved with the times and was completely done as a manager, going from managing Real Madrid, managing multiple Italian teams to league titles and top level of Europe, just done. And that happens, and it's been worrying me for a while that is a thing, but it might well turn out to be the case, but it won't be. If it doesn't work out with him in the next 3, 4, 5 years, whatever, it won't be for a lack of hunger. You do wonder how the Manchester City thing might have revitalised him, because knowing that there's a serious chance that Manchester City just get taken completely out of the picture might have sort of made him sit up and
go. But also
go,
just how badly they're doing.
Exactly.
I think this idea of you need 100 points basically has driven, to extend some of these sort of, we need to change, we need to evolve and stuff. And he's like, well, hang on, actually, they're not in as much trouble as us, but they are sort of struggling a little bit. I think it's maybe a realisation that, listen, if we can get our act together back next season, there's no reason why we can't win it.
I mean, it's also, this season's not completely dead, and I know this will sound ridiculous, but Liverpool need to get on a roll, quickly. Liverpool's season will be determined in the next 3 weeks, because I think we play 5 games in the time Newcastle are playing 2, and Newcastle's 2 games in that time are against us and Manchester City.
Yeah.
So if we...
Is that because we're in the League Cup final?
Yeah. But also we've got a rearranged league game in there as well.
Wolves.
Again, no. Far too familiar with Wolves, my liking. But it's the situation it puts you in is that if you can get in a position where suddenly it clicks, it's got the ability to change very quickly. That's why I think tonight's massively important for that. Because if you win and look like you've played well, all of a sudden it makes you think, oh, hang on. Like, you go to Newcastle next weekend, and Newcastle don't lose games, but at the same time, they basically just draw games. They've drawn more than half their games this season, I think, haven't they?
YouTube, press the button, become a member of the Anfield Wrap from the heart of the city of Liverpool. The best way to enjoy all your Liverpool-based videos, everything you need, every single day. It is the Anfield Wrap.